Hey everybody, it's Ethan McKinley and welcome to the 2-Minute Terminator. It's episode 51 and we're going from minutes 102 to 104, the 2 minutes bridging that gap. So we're basically at 1 hour 44 minutes to 1 hour, that's a lie, 1 hour 42 minutes to 1 hour 44 minutes. On the other end of the line, through Skype, the internet works and so does all the other equipment now. Thank you for bearing with us, is Ellie Fitzgerald.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Starting with the mating call of a horny polar bear.
I thought it was more a forest bride.
No, that's it's too big.
No, it's that's forest bride.
Well, I'm glad you're here to tell us these things, Ellie.
It's like an upgrade to a truffle pig.
We've got quite a peppy sounding Ellie on the line here. Does it mean you've had an extra day off work?
Not really. I physically couldn't get into work. Oh. There's been massive cancellations on the trains, and then huge strikes on the tube. So I thought, do you know what? And apparently, even on the streets of London, it's even like mad traffic because people are thinking, "Oh, we'll just walk everywhere." But apparently, the pavements are absolutely packed. It's mental. Absolutely bloody mental. Don't go to London today, kids.
When you get 30 million people in one spot, because they think it's cool. The irony, of course, of London is no one can actually afford to live there. So it's a strange thing that everyone goes there to make it and then realises they don't. Because unless you are literally an oligarch, the very people that me and Ellie work for from time to time, it's just never going to happen. So I don't know. I would love to wonder what happens to those very people when they kind of hit that watershed moment, as I did. Like, fuck this.
And what did you do, Ethan?
I still work in London, but don't live in it. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it isn't. Still hanging on to the dream.
What is it?
What?
Something because I dared to try.
What'd you say?
What is it Bill Burr says? I dared to try.
Because you believed in me. I dared to try.
I dared to try. Whereas absolutely no one believed in you.
Exactly.
And yet we can't shut you the fuck up. Anyway, hit the music.
Yeah, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Load up.
You didn't do the fourth.
Thank God. It sucked. Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, we are back. Ellie, did you give any attention to Mr. Plinkett's reviews of either Star Wars, Star Trek, or Indiana Jones?
I did. I was listening to his commentary on Star Wars. I did find it rather funny. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars. So it was rather nice to be sent something from a Star Wars fan who's tried to send me many Star Wars things over the past.
Well...
trying to get my interest, but it's just never going to happen. But no, this was actually really funny. This guy's his opinions and views on things were quite amusing. So yeah, I enjoyed it. But I haven't listened to any of the others. I've been getting through the files of the paedophiles that you've been sending through to me.
Stop it! Not on the air.
Not actual like paedophile files, but just this commentary on SoundCloud about these rings and about
the latest conspiracy rabbit hole I've gone down is the Westminster paedophile rings, which connects pretty much well, not all, but a lot, and I guess they all know about it. They must do about these high-profile paedophile rings that work in conjunction with MI5 and MI6. The Child Protective Services, basically anyone running CPS or in care,
police,
it's all set up just to kind of procure children, either put them in the sex industry or just have them as playthings of the rich and corrupt, and then just throw them back onto the pile.
I want access to your boy.
Yeah, but a lot of people that end up on the street are children that were formerly in children's homes, aren't they? So I'm sure if you, I bet they've got plenty to say if you.
Well, it's like I said to you a while ago. My dad, years ago when he was young, he worked in like a children's home. And he said that they are the most nastiest people. They don't care about children at all themselves.
I don't know. I think if I worked in a children's home, you'd be surrounded by unruly kids constantly. You would get pissed off with them at some point.
I imagine you'd be more like Patch Adams.
Start giving a toddler a haymaker. Shut up!
Ethan, step away from the 8-year-old girls.
No, you need secondary sexual development to get onto my radar. Speaking of radars, we are in a building of technology in today's clip. We are. The 2 minutes, which is 1 hour 42 minutes to 1 hour 44 minutes, the 2 minutes bridging that gap. We start with Jason Clarke trying to peel himself off this, I guess it's a helicopter rotor blade. He's been pinned to a plasma wall, no less. Not a plasma TV, a plasma wall. And in some rather lovely special effects. And it ends, of course, with Arnold setting up, I believe, the detonator after John Connor starts fingering his mom.
His mother. I know. Keep it in the family. Yeah, so I have a few notes on this particular...
Oh, do you? Excellent.
Yeah. I also have a cock-up, which I've literally put a load of stars around it and written cock up as large as I could.
I have to say this online. John Nichols, listener John Nichols, I've not replied to you because I'm being rude. I've been, again, banned from Facebook. Anyone listening, I joined a private group, so you can pretty much get away with murder in a private group on Facebook.
Well, apparently not.
I joined a group called Roast My Selfie, which I personally find enjoyment and hilarity as people post their pictures and go, do your worst, and then you can literally verbally abuse them under their pictures. I posted mine. I took a few licks as well.
Did you actually?
Yeah. Why
didn't you screenshot that to me?
Because they weren't that funny. I don't know. I think I just got lost. Sometimes I think someone puts up a picture and everyone's watching the page and everyone jumps on them. And then you post it when no one's really looking. You just get lost in the kind of the feed.
Okay.
So I get.
So were there no good ones?
It looks like the poor man's Mickey Rourke. That was the best one I got. So not that great, to be fair. But
poor man's Mickey Rourke. I quite like that.
I've been posting funny memes and stuff under pictures.
But what got you banned, Ethan?
A bukkake picture. Because it showed nudity / or related in some way to porn.
Was it an actual? Was it just? Yeah, but was it just like a porn still?
It was a porn still with a kind of a willy in it.
That's what. Yeah, but that's why.
No, but who's you can't
it's not
report something in a private group.
Yeah, but there are girls on there, dude. Just because they can take banter doesn't mean they're going to take well. Yeah, I know, but did you see any other porn stills? I don't agree with it, but I now know
Ellie, and that's what encouraged me to do likewise.
I think you're getting confused with the cunt cave, but
no, I'm not. I swear to you, I'm just saying.
I swear.
Private, I am not on trial today. The whole judicial system is on trial. I will represent myself. Thank you. I don't need a lawyer. But yeah, that's why I've not replied to John Nichols. It's going to take me 28 days to get a message to you. However, at some point, either this week or the week after, Eddie, I want to do the last 5 or 6 shows of this season with either some guests or listeners calling in.
Guests?
Now, I know you're tied up this weekend coming, probably literally, so that's all we'll say on that. So, I think we'll maybe do 3 episodes this week, 3 next week, and then the last 6 I'm going to try and do bang. We're going to try and knock out some actual guests, so we start with a bang, we'll end with a bang. Hopefully, we're going to see what we can do. But yes, that's why I not replied to you, John Nichols. I do have your email address and phone number, so I'll get to you at some point the week after this with regard to coming on as a guest to discuss a clip, as promised.
As promised.
So anyway, back to this. You have some qualms. I've got a few notes.
Let's make pims.
SkyNet gets a bit lippy in this one, so let's talk about it.
What I want to discuss is as they are walking through to the main area, I guess, Arnold's talking. Kyle, ever the optimist, is saying, well, we'll never be able to clear the area in time for the explosion to miss us and live. And then Arnold says that's not necessarily the only option. And then he says, I was able to program, and I swear to God he says, your boy's handprint into the biometric security system. That seems like quite a human sentence to put together, do you not think?
Yeah.
I was able to program your boy's handprint. I swear that's what he says.
All right,
She rewound it so many times.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's well, I haven't said it yet. So that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying this. How would he have programmed her boy's handprint into the computer?
Well, I guess.
Are we talking about the adult John Connor here? Because if so,
Yeah.
John Connor's handprint would be in the system anyway. Because apparently, from what we could have gleaned, it doesn't explicitly state it, but he's clearly worked in this facility
for the last couple of years.
At least a couple of years. He's built a freaking time machine, for God's sake. Yeah. So I mean, why would that be? Maybe does he mean he's like made some kind of clone of it that so when you press the button, it registers as John's hand or his pops?
Well, that's what I was thinking. He's obviously made some. Maybe one time he put some kind of like, I don't know, imprinting material on it so that when he pulled his hand back off, there'd be a imprint of like the veins and things on his palm and fingers. I don't know.
This is probably a question you're going to ask because this is the kind of thing you do ask on this show. How would a Terminator have the knowledge to kind of like be able to kind of crack a very high security computer system within a science and technology building?
Yeah, exactly.
Would he have to go on a course for this?
Of course.
Well, because I guess he learns stuff as he goes and stuff. Blah blah blah. He's got his learning chip switched to learning.
You can't exactly trial and error like a security system. You get it wrong, that's it. You're fucked.
I'm sure there's certain knowledge programmed into him because I mean, he himself has built a working time machine. That's what got Sarah and Kyle to 2017.
Well, yeah, there was definitely some kind of like learning ability in his CPU.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of odd to me that, like, is it working in the very building on construction that they're trying to develop time machine, but he's actually built a time machine. It's like, well, it's fine to interrogate him. And like you rightfully said in the last episode, with the greatest THX audio ever, that like, how would these two not have recognised another Terminator in the same building?
In the same building.
Jason Clarke's been working there for years. Pops clearly has because he built the freaking building, apparently.
And got fired.
Did they disclose why he got fired?
No, but I was trying to guess at what reasons he could have got fired.
He exposed himself to a busload of kids like visitors.
I was gonna say he has a thing for walking around butt naked, so maybe he did. Maybe he turned up to work naked one day and upset some women.
He was pissing in the mimetic alloy vat.
He raped me with his eyes.
He got drunk and he was doing a wee in the T1000 solution.
My next note being on the, I guess the molds or the endoskeletons that are being made by these kind of molds. Yes, the willow.
Sorry, I just drank a litre of Coke. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Your energy should be
It's
great.
my Star Wars cup. That's why it's good. It's my Star Wars cup. I love it.
Have you got your Star Wars ice cubes in there?
I have, but usually what I do is, so it's not an insurmountable task. Like when you work out, you have to do 12 reps. You never count to 12. You do 3 blocks of 4, so it doesn't seem as bad. I do my smoothies now. I put it in this sealed. If you've been to the local cinema, and John Nichols will know this, if you go to the Merry Hill Centre. Any Odeon cinema actually, get one of the Star Wars cups. £2 £250. Jesus Christ, too much Coke. They're £2.50. It's a sealed black cup. It's got Star Wars on it. That's a by the by. However,
sealed black cup. That's it.
I now pour my litre of awful smoothie into it and put the lid on, and the straw is wide enough to get like a smoothie up it. My spinach thing easily. So it's not as bad to drink. You just think, because you're not seeing it. You know what I mean? Because they've done that with taste testing, when they put something in someone's mouth and they're blindfolded. They don't know what the fuck it is. When they're told, they go, "Oh yeah, it is a strawberry." I thought it was a banana or something.
It is a strawberry.
Because it's that
I'm sorry.
taste association, isn't it? I'm going to blindfold you one day, Ellie, and I'm going to not 9.5 weeks start.
I would recognise the strawberry anywhere.
All right, we'll do it then.
You don't know what I'm
we'll do a show on you not recognising certain foods because you've not seen them first. But that's what I'm saying, because you can't see the smoothie that it's green and horrible. You just think, I can slightly taste a bit of banana. Anyway, it's the way to go. Not that anyone's ever going to listen to me, especially you, Ellie, with your meth scratched face. Anyway, what's your next point?
I'm not Sophie, so that doesn't actually get to me. The moulds that are being made with these kind of pink lasers, is that basically what I kind of get from that? Is that it's almost like a 3D printer? I like the effect of the lasers, and I like that they're that kind of neon pinky colour, but I think the actual effect of these moulds or these endoskeletons that are being made is actually really naff.
Why?
I thought the effect looked shit.
Well...
It just looks so CGI, it doesn't look real at all.
Well, Ellie, I don't mean to break it to you, but, like, it is CGI.
I know, but I would hope that... I feel like the CGI that they would have used in Terminator 2 is better than the CGI they've used in this film. It just looks too slick. It's not real.
I've paused it as it drags up the human form out of the liquid metal.
Metal.
Metal. Yeah. Right.
All right, Vanessa. Is it metal? Do you want to come to a metal night? Do you want to come to a metal night with me, Ethan?
Stick it in my yeah, no.
No, she goes, stick it in my bum, mate. Stick it in my bum. Yeah, go on. I'm right dirty, me. Whee!
Yeah,
sorry, carry on.
Accent's not good. It's like going on a date with Ian Beale. Yeah, there's a kind of like matrixy grid shape that forms over the human form as it gets pulled out through the red lasers. So I guess it's trying to convey that like there's different levels and little bits. I suppose every molecule of this stuff is going to become a Terminator, I guess, until they get one solid form that can change. I don't know. But, you know, we said this a few episodes back. I mean, how would you envision a T-1000 being made then? If it's not this way, what?
I imagine it being poured into like a cast, almost like...
Like a jelly mold.
Yeah. I'm serious.
Comes out like a rabbit shape, and they're like, right, turn into
well,
this.
I was thinking more about how swords were made. How you'd kind of it would be in stone, and then you'd carve it, and then you'd pour your metal into it, and then it'd create a cast.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is when they make swords or any kind of like metal shapes, they get metal ore, which is metal melted down to its liquid raw form. Like lava, that you can't heat a T-1000 up like lava, so it's obviously not made through fire or heat. I would have thought.
No, but it can still be. No, but it can still be poured. It can still be. It's malleable. It's.
That's what I'm saying. So it must be made in some cold process.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dry ice.
Yeah. I was gonna say as well. Every time this like the SkyNet is back chatting each of them as they get in closer and closer to, I guess, the central hub, the CPU. No, the H. What's the thing in Tron? The MCP, the Master Control Program.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if one, like in real life, you'd says, "Well, I'm da-da-da." She goes, "Shut up, SkyNet," and she aims at the thing that's generating the hologram. She just misses.
Yeah.
There'd just be like an awkward moment where she goes, oh. It's like because a real person would shoot at it, miss it, and they just keep having to go at it until you finally got it. I thought that'd be quite funny.
And by then, they'd be dead.
Exactly.
I do find it interesting how when they're at the pinnacle moment where they're about to blow SkyNet, all of a sudden, GenisYs, the small boy, every time he gets shot, he seems to get older.
Yeah, he does, because I guess it's the countdown is sped up. It's gone down to like 40 or so minutes.
But why every time he gets shot? Or it's not even him getting shot, it's just a camera that's projecting that image.
Maybe every time they destroy him, he just returns in an older form. Maybe, I suppose, because he's like, the kid's not working, let's try a teenager. He'll scare them. It's like, fuck, the teenager didn't work. Get me Matt Smith.
Get me Matt Smith.
Get me Matt Smith, with his bizarre shaped head. Having said that, Matt Smith was a very nice, polite and cordial person at that party.
Who is that guy who genuinely, I think he was in the movies a little bit, but only because he had a really massive weirdly shaped head.
John Merrick, that's the Elephant Man, Ellie.
No, not John Merrick, I know him. Good old John. No, he was an actor. I swear he died recently. I remember you sending me a photo of this guy and I was like, no way is this real. I thought it was a Bo Selector mask, but it's like some actor that has just a really huge head. He's got a head like a bin. It's the only way I can describe the shape. I'll find this guy and I'll post it on the page.
Is it the Hamburglar? He's not real, Ellie.
I swear this guy is real, and this is why I will never delete our WhatsApp history.
Is it Mayor McCheese? Is it the Grimace?
Oh, God. It's a real person.
By the way, do you know what the Grimace is?
By the way.
Do you know what the Grimace is in McDonald's kind of lore?
No.
Do you know what he looks like at least?
No.
All right, hang on. I'll send you a picture of the Grimace.
Oh my God.
Bear with me, folks. I will post this picture.
Waiting.
I will post this picture under.
So I'm just gonna talk a bit whilst Ethan posts. So they're shooting this young GenisYs boy who gets older and older with each bullet. And then Sarah does the final one. He's like, yeah, but you've only got one detonator. And he realises that Sarah's the one with the detonator. So all of a sudden, out of the darkness, John Connor starts running towards his mother. She shoots him. Again, I don't know why, because it will literally do nothing. And then what I found quite interesting, there's a bit of a chase. Not much, to be fair, but Sarah still manages to pretty much outrun a Terminator. He's like kind of like stumbling and like running after her. I would have thought again that he would just be able to kind of move at the speed of light, but never mind. And then the way he says,
speed of latte.
The way he goes, go with the Terminator. It reminded me exactly of Silence of the Lambs. Put the lotion in the basket. It sounds exactly like that. If you go back and listen.
Or in Halloween 2, there's that weird audio blip of Donald Pleasance they're in that kind of like operating room. They're turning on all the gas.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, get out. And then she's not leaving. And then they cut to him. He goes, get out now. Like that. But it's like obviously done post-production. Yeah. And they've really Donald Pleasance has tried to, or not even Donald Pleasance, they've tried to fit it matching his like mouth movement. He says, get out now. It just looks really funny. That's a picture of the Grimace, Ellie. I will, of course, provide this picture in the show notes of today's show, which is under the YouTube video you're probably watching, or under the, just the notes under the show. You'll find it, or whatever platform you're on. I don't care.
I recognise the top one.
That's
not
the Grimace. Well, the bottom one is like a
That's
sinister.
the Grimace.
That's the Grimace. Shut up.
That's even better than when I was a child. My favourite robot was.
Fuck you.
It's the Grimace. That's the way you said it. You absolute tool.
And for 5 seconds, Ethan was that little boy again.
He was. It's wonderful. I love those little moments. That's why you're still my friend. So, yeah, I recognise the top guy, but not the bottom one.
The thing underneath, I think, is meant to be some sinister child molester version of the Grimace. I will also put that picture.
It's making me think of Krampus.
Well, do you know what the Grimace actually is meant to be? A milkshake upside down. I discovered this the other day. It was on a podcast. The Grimace, which is the purple thing, he's like an upside down misshapen triangle. He's meant to be kind of the inside, the void space, if you will, of a cup.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how they think that.
How basic do they think kids are?
It's the Grimace.
It's the Grimace.
It's the Grimace.
It's the Grimace. I honestly can't wait for you to hear that first time round when you listen back to that. It's so good.
It's the Grimace.
we believe you, Ethan.
You've got to see it to believe it. No, you've got to believe it to see it.
You've got to go to McDonald's and eat it.
And now I'm looking at the Burger King, which has come up in my image thing. By the way, listeners, I went to an audition for Burger King once, and I actually ruined the audition. One, because I like... Has anyone seen the Burger King commercial? And there's the guy in the Burger King outfit, but he's got like this giant porcelain king head, and it's glossy and shiny. Yeah. It's fucking terrifying. I opened the audition with that. That's what I started with. And I was like, is there not a better idea than having this awful, like, it scares you. I don't think burgers when I see this thing. I just think run away. And they're like, oh, okay, Ethan.
You're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, you talk yourself out of every role.
I know, I did that yesterday as well.
What did you do yesterday?
It's vulcanized rubber. Where are the lady boys? I think what it is, if there's like an audience of more than 2 in an empty room, I started doing stand-up.
Oh, God.
He's like, so you're in Thailand, and you've just got there. You've never been there before. You're kind of bowing, but it's awkward because you're not sure if you're meant to bow to Thai people and stuff.
Do you get much work, Pamela? You sound just like that guy.
You walk into the hotel, and then I walked in. And I went, right, I'm looking for lady boys. The guy behind the camera just like broke down laughing.
Good.
Like, we've got one.
Yeah, one of us. And Ethan never got called back.
And he didn't.
Stop being a wise ass.
I think I need
Ethan.
short hair. I need short hair.
It's not the hair. It's
Dude,
you.
if I look conventional, I will start working again. Believe me.
Okay, we'll cut your hair
But
then.
believe me.
But the grimace.
But the grimace.
Oh my god! Actually, genuine laughter. Who would have known? Why didn't John just kill Sarah as opposed to just stab him with his gauntlet finger of death and woe?
I don't know. Do you think there's some kind of like larger planet work here? Or he needs? What would he need Sarah for at this point? Because he is still her son. Some part of him, no? Or is that just completely gone?
It almost made me feel like maybe he was going to turn her into a... But if Arnie was about to blow up the building and SkyNet and GenisYs and everything in it, then it wouldn't matter.
That's a good point.
But I don't know why he didn't just... I don't know why he didn't just kill her anyway.
Well, there you go then, because he needs Sarah as a bargaining chip, so Arnie doesn't do that, look. Because he's got the detonator here, look, and he can't press it because reasons.
Well, that was my last note. I was like, ooh, pondering pops.
Answered your question.
Flick the switch, bitch. That's what I would have said.
No, that's not what I meant. Pull your pants down.
Now Vogue.
Ellie, I've got a fact attack for you.
Fact attack.
The audience now listens to rapt attention for either a or a
That was my version of the ending of Predator.
or a ricochet.
Okay.
What do you mean? The title, LEC? Well,
Oh god, who is she?
get me another Coke. It's wearing off. The title Genesis.
It's root beer.
I have that already. I've just drank a litre of Coke.
Root beer.
Give me a root beer. It's the Christmas. The title Genesis, as we all know, if we look at any kind of poster or your Blu-ray case or anything like that, if you just Google it, it's actually spelled wrong. It's Genesis with SIS on the end, as in system, referring to SYS system. It's a computer term referring to the system, or critical files that the system depends on to function properly, as well as Genesis, which is the double meaning, of course, Ellie, which is the beginning. The beginning of, oh Jesus Christ, the Coke's running.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just scared. It's the beginning start. In context, the core of the story hinges on time travel, where the war begins. It's also in reference to the Bible, the beginning of life. So it's a critical system that you cannot live within a computer, and it's also the start of something. That's what it means. I've got another fact attack for you.
Fact attack.
In the scene, SkyNet, Matt Smith says to John Connor's Jason Clarke, or Jason Clarke's John Connor, so I'll start again, you destroyed an army of slaves.
Sexy.
I don't know what that means, though. Why Matt Smith saying in this clip, like, you've destroyed an army of slaves? What slaves has he destroyed?
I don't know. I didn't get that.
I have another fact attack for you.
Fact attack.
Oh, she's bored of doing fact attacks now. Jai Courtney starred in the TV... Shut up.
I don't want to
I just wanted to change it up. You were sick of doing it.
Whatever. Grimace.
It's a grimace. Jai Courtney starred in the TV series Spartacus, Blood and Sand, which was about the historical Thracian gladiator Spartacus, whom led an army of slaves from gladiators into a rebellion against the Roman Empire. This should be noted that the fight of humanity against SkyNet is a very similar premise.
Oh.
Cock up.
Any more?
There aren't any cock-ups.
I have a cock up.
Do you? I've got one. When they go through the time travel machine, why have they got countdown to...
Then. Why are you saying you didn't? You got me all excited. Bastard. Loves the bastard. Carry on.
Why are the countdown to SkyNet screens everywhere showing the countdown? Because there's no one in the building to enjoy them or notice them. And if you're just a manual labourer working on the time machine...
You wouldn't give a fuck, mate.
Yeah, you'd be like, I've been working on this for 3 months. I don't give a shit when it starts. I just want this
3
contract
months,
to
more
finish.
like 3 years.
Yeah.
Was that your cock up?
It's more of a question. It's a grimace.
begun. I was about to say Q, but it doesn't. Yes, my cock-up would be when Sarah is talking to Pops when they're walking past these moulds being made, and she's like, yeah, but are they dangerous? Sarah, of all people, would know that a Terminator without a CPU in it wouldn't work.
No, but there might be enough rudimentary basic programming in them that it could have risen out. I mean, that would have been interesting if they all came like...
No, a Terminator does not function unless there's a CPU in its head, like, at all.
No. Oh, God. We're going back to episode 7 of season 2. Ellie learns how stairs work. Ellie. That's actually probably wrong. It's one of the episodes. Do you think with floating within the body of Robert Patrick in Terminator 2 was a little computer chip? Like a bit like the hologram generator within Rimmer's head in Red Dwarf. Is that what you think?
So are these just liquid Terminators then?
No, they're obviously they're making an army of T-1000s. My question to you is, do you believe without a float, like a credit card floating around in its body somewhere, the T-1000 wouldn't work?
Well, no, it had to have something to, like, fucking trigger it or ignite it. Otherwise, I mean...
But I think...
How does SkyNet even control those Terminators then?
Yeah, but I think, like, Matt Smith's T-5000 and John Connor's T-3000 are all, like, each individual part.
Well, okay, right, they might not have, you know, a CPU designed the same way that the T-800 had, but they're going to have some kind of whatever, and she should, like, I don't know.
No, but they're nanobots, aren't they? So by the same token, the T-1000...
Yeah, but it's still powered by something. Anything has to have a battery. Nothing has infinite power apart from the sun. It has to be generated from somewhere. Not
necessarily, because you've got two kinds of nuclear power, haven't you? You've got nuclear fusion and nuclear fission. I think nuclear fission is what we have at this time on Earth, where you have got a lot of like nuclear waste left over, which is but
that's how they're making these Terminators, is it?
When that Fukushima place went up, the uranium rods, the building that exploded.
Fukushima!
They stored all the nuclear waste on the roof of the building that exploded. That's what went into the sea, because they weren't disposing of the nuclear waste properly. With our process of nuclear power and generating electricity through nuclear power, we have a lot of nuclear waste. The sun, I think, is nuclear fission, which is like 100% energy exchange, and there's no like waste left over. So I would assume...
I'm confused how this relates to a Terminator.
Because I don't think you need batteries floating around in a liquid body. I think each individual part of the Terminator...
But again, I'm not saying batteries. I'm saying that it would have to get its kind of like source of power or its ignition from somewhere. Somewhere, somehow,
yeah, but I imagine it's in each individual part. That's why, as we've seen with that, like, if we go by the way they're building T-1000s in this film, it's just drawing the human shape out of the primordial soup, if you will, and each like stroke. I mean, it probably takes months of keep doing this, and it starts off as like a little pea-sized blob, and it just gets bigger and bigger. And as you see from that thing, they're all kind of like they've got the vague torso of a person coming out. So it's just literally, I think it's infecting each individual part of the metal with intelligence. That's how I always thought the T-1000 like. Because when he like gets his arm cut off, when he chases them like Homer with the two golf clubs, that little piece goes back into his foot. And in this, we have the Asian T-1000, of course. He drops a little piece of himself into the Terminator and repairs. So I think each individual part, like the Thing, is in each individual kind of individual part, is a robot in and of itself.
Ethan, stop.
Wipe the foam off your chin, Ethan.
Yeah, literally. I can hear you, like...
But you honestly believe there's like a little battery and a little power pack within each liquid T-1000?
Yeah, I do. In some form or way, I believe that there is something in that unit, in that system, that tells it to...
Each microscopic part is that.
No! Why can't that just be my opinion?
Because James Cameron would have mentioned it, and he said it's liquid metal, it's mimetic
Dude,
alloy.
This was not made by James Cameron.
The idea is his.
But this was not made by James Cameron.
I know, but they're kind of intonating by, as you've seen in this clip. When
I'm right, and if you're not saying what I say, then you're wrong.
Listen, fuckface. How advanced would it be if there was a fucking battery floating around? If you look
I'm
at
not
this,
saying it's an actual battery.
if you look at the mimetic alloy moat, which is around the time machine, which admittedly you'd never have two like gigantic like A-list projects of your freaking technology company in the same goddamn room. It's pulling each piece like dough out of the primordial soup, as I said. It's literally infecting every cell of the metal with intelligence. And I'm assuming something within the metal, it doesn't need a battery or a power pack. It is its own. I mean, we don't have battery power packs floating around. So we have each individual cell, which is the nucleus, which is the power generation for the cell. We eat food and stuff to kind of feed our cells and things so we don't die. So maybe the T-1000 has to do that. Maybe it has to connect with some power source at some point. Absolutely. But the fact there might be some little thing, you just like reach into his body and pull it out and chuck it in the river, and he'd be fucked. The same as we see in Red Dwarf, they pull out the hologram cube, which is within Rimmer and certain episodes from time to time. It's much more of a sci-fi idea that it's the liquid is just a bunch of intelligent liquid, isn't it, Elliot? That just is sentient and works under its own power and under its own mission and volition within reason. You know? Well, I just killed the show by shouting at my co-host.
Yeah. Well, they were all my notes, and that was, I thought, quite a good cock-up, but Ethan just literally shit all over my cock.
No, I mean,
So-
all right, no, how do you think...
No, I've told you what I think, but I'm not going to go into it much detail.
Clarify it more, because I think it's... I mean,
No.
as we've seen with the T...
No.
Yes, talk.
Mark. No, honestly, that's all I have to say on it. I don't want to go into it any further.
Okay, have I got this right then? That you think there's a little computer floating around in the liquid body of the T-1000?
In some form, but not in the form that you're imagining. I'm not imagining that there is a solid battery floating around in a liquid. When this Terminator is a human being, he's not liquid, he's solid, he's made up of whatever. I think that there is some part on that Terminator, in that Terminator, something has to happen for that to get its power, its source, its energy, its whatever. Whatever you want to call it.
But I think that's happening now in the manufacturing of the, of the item itself, the T-1000. I think it's in its very birth.
Either way, it goes back to the fact that I thought it was a silly thing for Sarah to say, oh, are these things dangerous? And Arnold says, well, without... He even said, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. I've just
call to the bench the actor Arnold Schwarzenegger to back up Ellie's case.
I've completely just...
Look at you calling for a new witness. You're on the ropes, you know it.
He says it is powerless without a CPU. Fuck you, Ethan McKinley. Fuck you. Watch your clips.
I remember him saying that. I admit that. However, CPU, Central Processor Unit. Okay, all right, okay. Maybe this first generation T-1000 needs that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
It just makes no sense to be a little Rubik's Cube of intelligence and batteries and stuff in the middle of this floating man's body.
What makes no sense is the fact you're so close to anything being possibly anything other than your opinion on something that's
I'm
science
close to everything.
robots.
A friendly gesture from a friend, the erotic touch of another man, Ellie's opinions. They all go in the bin. Only my opinion counts because I'm cleverer than anyone else, even though I'm a bit of a loser and I just do a podcast no one listens to. But anyway.
We've picked up loads of listens in India.
Kurpal, have you heard the latest episode of the Ethan McKinley Show? Kurpal, it's not... Why are we both called Kurpal? I don't know. But
because they kicked my dog.
Oh, yes. No, I have not listened. Oh, very good. I'll tell you actually about Veer, my cross-dressing gay friend who's from Pakistan. He's a fashion designer.
He's so beautiful, by the way.
I was at this house party, and as is the nature of house parties, you know some people there, but a lot of people you don't. And there was a bunch of rough as houses, actual Russian people that you would not want to fuck with. Who I think didn't realise he was a man.
Oh, but they all really hitting on him.
Yeah, I could tell, and he'd been kissing, copping off with loads of them, basically. And I was like,
Basically.
I pulled him aside, went, Via, like, what are you doing? If they find out you're a fucking dude, they will
You're
kill
dead.
you and everyone at the party. And he's like, you went, I know, but they still want it.
That's absolutely amazing.
So I was like, yeah, that's probably worth dying for. Go.
Go, spread your wings.
I know, but they still want it.
And that's remained with you.
Good times with trannies.
Exactly.
If you would like to know where to get your own tranny, if you send an email to
Ethan McKinley and give him £5, then he'll do it.
I'd sell Veer out for free.
Whoa.
But I think he's in Japan now, so he's not around. So
Oh, wow.
his ass is not available, listeners. I apologise. Ellie, have you got anything else to add?
That is everything I have to add for this particular 2 minutes.
Excellent. So we just make the time until we hit 40 minutes?
No, not doing that. Oh my god, have we actually been recording for 40 minutes?
We have. It's been a rip-roaring, funny show of opinions and shoutings at
Oh,
and
shit.
innuendo.
In your window. Well, music day.
What are you doing? Those Russian guys will kill everyone at the party if they find out you're a dude. I know, but they still want it.
Right, Ethan, I'm just going to hang up, so you'll have to do the rest of the show by yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. Ethan was going to put us on some website that all the other podcasts are on, but I don't think he's done it yet. Don't know what it's called. You'll have to write in and find out.
Well, Podbean, I've heard on the grapevine, and I've been sent a couple of articles that SoundCloud is in a bit of trouble and may not be around in a year's time. So, as if you were told you had a terminal illness, it basically said get your affairs in order and leave your podcast to your mom, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to which I was going to do this months ago. I just never got around to it because we were so busy with our celebrities, darling. So I'm going to switch to Podbean, which I think I should have done at the start because Podbean and Libsyn are really the podcasting platforms. I just didn't know how to use them at first. And Alex, of course, set up SoundCloud.
Oh, he's only a young boy.
I went with that. So instead of getting 100,000 listeners, we probably get about 10. So hopefully we can change that now we've actually coming to the end of the 2-minute Terminator. I will be bullying Ellie into doing the Sarah Connor Chronicles. But that's going to be fine. It's 12 episodes and each one will be a feature-length one. The length of the show, 45 minutes.
I'm going to say this now, and this is on recording, so you can never renege on it, which you do every time.
I can edit this out, Ellie. I'm God, remember.
You are making this happen. And I've said my bit.
I am going to make it happen. What was your bit?
No, I said you're making me do this. You're making this happen.
Well, I've got a couple of people lined up. Crystal Beth, who's an American stand-up comedian, she wants to come on. Kyle and Brady want to come back. Airport Min Jim. I'm going to try and get them actually to come on before National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation Minute. I'm going to get them probably as guests, hopefully for the last week of this. And they're going to have us as guests on. Have you seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
I have indeed.
Have you seen Spinal Tap?
No.
Okay. Well, we need to see you need to see Spinal Tap because Spinal Tap Minute wants us on, I think. So there's lots to do. We'll be guesting on other people's shows, and I'm going to try to do an occasional show, Ellie, with this 2-minute Terminator, where we try and get someone that worked on Terminator as a guest.
Oh my god, that's going to be even more difficult than getting.
Well, we nearly got that dude, didn't we? That was the tech
Yeah,
person.
nearly, but we still didn't even get him.
Because he backed out of it. He thought we were too crazy.
We were too good. Oh my god.
Even though he did that, what was it? That like kung fu Zen acting thing.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so good.
Yeah.
Ethan literally fell in love that day.
He made Tommy Wiseau look
your
like
love
Citizen Kane.
Hey,
man.
Your love was rebuffed.
I know.
But anyway,
As it always
before
is.
tries to drag it out to 45 minutes, I know exactly what you're doing, Mr. McKinley. It's quality over quantity, my
This
friend.
has been a good show. The last show we just did, the sound was just a complete mess.
Yeah,
Now
but the
Skype is
content was
working.
good.
It is.
I
The
brought up
content
some
was good
amazing.
here. You did. I think when you're under the gun, you have great points. I think if I leave you for an entire day to get your notes, you just kind of... I think, yeah, you're like me.
That's such horseshit.
You do a better essay the night it's meant to be in than the summer before when you should have started it and had 3 months to work on it. That's what I think. That's what I think.
That's what I. That's
You're-
Ethan's 2
you're
cents.
spam.
Right. Hasta la vista.
Yes, you can follow the clip as I said on.
Oh my god!
On YouTube. I should tell people this at the start of a show. I never have.
You do.
I will try and do it for the next 10 episodes. You can actually follow on Mystery Science Theatre 3K style. Please subscribe to that channel. And if you want to do us a solid, if you don't want to donate any money to the show, because no one has, you can leave us a written and star review on iTunes. If you've already done that, maybe you want to leave another one. Maybe your opinion's changed. Who knows? Ellie certainly has about me and this show. And yeah, John Nichols, I've not replied to you because I'm blocked on Facebook again.
Because he's a dirty bastard.
Because I'm a dirty boy. But until then, we shall return hopefully tomorrow with episode 52 and have a lovely
Ethan
evening.
Sage. Hasta la vista.
Give a kiss or a hug to a loved one, baby.
What? It's so weird.
What's weird? What?
You don't have any loved ones.
This is true. True. This is true. God, see, I said that. I was like, true. Choked my own words.
It's like the pen is royal blue.
The grimace loves me.
Oh God, you got touched by the grimace.
It's the grimace. So, well, we've hit 45 minutes now, Ellie, so I guess we can stop the show. What are you doing?
You're still recording.
Yeah. Stop slapping your own tit. It's disgusting.
I'm not. I'm slapping my chin actually.
Oh. John Nichols is actually still listening at this point, so hello, John.
Oh my God. Right, I need to hang up because me and Mike are making dinner.
All right, bye everyone. Love you. Bye. Hasta la vista, baby.
Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.